All right, I want to move on to another issue. We heard all of this talk today about bailout packages, or support packages, I better call that, in relation to airlines and changes in relation to movement of people around the globe with multiple airlines. So clearly, Australia's travel industry has been hit hard as borders are closed and strict travel rules are put in place. Following Qantas's lead yesterday, Virgin today reduced their domestic flights and announced a suspension to all international services from the end of March until at least the middle of June. Joining me now, the CEO of the Australian Federation of Travel Agents, Mr. Jayson Westbury. Jayson, really appreciate your time tonight. We know in most of our shopping strips around the country, you have members there front and centre. They're an integral part of all the good times in our life as we plan our holidays and get away. But, you know, they're going to be hit so hard as people start their cancellations. Tell us, give me a sense of what it's like there for your members.
Well, look, the travel industry is really in its sort of darkest moments, to be honest with you. We've been feeling the pinch as we've been leading into the specific nature of this coronavirus and the impacts it's having on Australia. But these decisions over the last few days have really meant that, you know, really travel has stopped. It's not just stopped going overseas, but people have stopped going anywhere. And travel agents are the sort of the centrepiece of the connector, the place people go for advice and what to do. And we've got travel agents throughout Australia working probably as hard as they've ever worked, but are not making any money at all because what everyone wants to do is cancel. And so we've got travel agents with absolutely no new bookings and no money flowing in, and consumers, of course, asking for their money back immediately and, you know, without any hesitation. And of course, we're not in a position to be able to react that quickly. And so that, of course, is putting pressure on the system.
And would you say to Australians who don't have their trip planned for some months, I get someone who's supposed to be going away in a couple of weeks will want their refund, but if they're not travelling, say, for 8 or 9 months, would it be the right thing to leave that booking in place? Would it be the right thing to leave that deposit or the money paid with the agent, just so that they're not forced to have a run basically on the deposits all at one time?
Well, of course, the money is probably not with the agent. I think that's a really important point to make here. In most cases, if people have made bookings for potentially Christmas time or beyond, with airfares or packages, if they might be going on a skiing holiday in North America, whatever it might be, most of the money, the lion's share of that money through deposits, will have been passed on to the supplier. So the money will be wherever it's meant to have gone, so they don't have it. But the key thing here, and I think the hardest part for everybody, is that the decision's been made to elevate to a do not travel. We've got borders closing all around us across the world. People are making immediate decisions not to travel, and that's understandable. But nobody yet has said how long this should last. It is very difficult to give advice of how long it will last. But I honestly believe if people don't have travel, even within the next month, they are better off to just hold for a moment and see how this unfolds. At the end of the day, whatever cancellation arrangements are in place, whatever suppliers have decided to refund, they're going to be still refunding the same amount of money, whether they get it today, in a week, in a month, or in 3 months.
So just so I'm clear, you're saying to people, if you're travelling in the next sort of month to 6 weeks, do what you do. I understand the cancellation point, but if your travel is a little bit longer down the track, sit tight, Australia, and let's see how this all plays out.
Sit tight, Australia, but also just consider that there's not only the travel agents, but there's all the airlines. There's call centres all over the place that have been completely inundated with horrendously long wait times. And if you're not travelling for, let's say, a month, 6 weeks, 2 months, 3 months, today and tomorrow and the weekend and all of next week and probably the week after are not the days to call. It's going to make no difference whatsoever if you wait and make that call in several weeks' time. It's going to make no difference. The immediate thing is to deal with people that are travelling in the next week or so. And of course, there's people that are overseas that have heard through whatever medium outlet that they may have got, or a text from someone or a friend, hey, you better come home. Now, of course, when they come home, they're going to be in self-isolation for 14 days like I am. I came home on Monday, and here you are in my study. And look, I think everyone accepts that's the case, but the sheer gravity and amount of people that are connecting with the travel agency community right now and the airlines right across the country is huge. So we do just ask people to just have a think about what you're doing and pause if you can. And I get that it's heightened because it feels like such a crisis, but that crisis, we don't know how long this crisis is going to last for.
Yeah, take your place in the queue, Australia. If you're not urgent, please let them deal with the urgent, and particularly Australians overseas. Jayson Westbury, thank you very much for your time and your advice tonight.